Hey guys, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about the 4 pieces of information that at least my law firm requires before we will consider taking a Fair Credit Reporting Act case. In other words, a case where we're suing the credit bureaus or furnishers of information to the credit bureaus, like a credit card company, mortgage company, debt collector, under the FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act. So I want to welcome you to this video. My name is John Watts. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, feel free to do that. We presume you're here because you're interested in credit reporting type videos, and we put out a new video every day and would love for you to take a look at those. All right, so let's jump into these. And I want you to first visualize sort of a timeline. Here's before, here's during, and here's after. Well, before, during, and after what? Your dispute process. So starting over here, what did your credit report show before you ever did a dispute? Now, preferably these will be your real reports. So I mean directly from annualcreditreport.com, where you get Equifax, Experian, TransUnion for free once a week through April of 2022. Or you could go to Experian.com, TransUnion.com, MyEquifax.com. But that's not an absolute requirement. If you have maybe a smart credit or identity IQ, and that's what you use to then do the dispute, that's fine. We just have to see what was it that was triggering the dispute. So, here are the 5 errors or the 10 errors or however many errors on that credit report that then led to the dispute letter. Well, the second thing is the actual dispute letter. So we start off with, what do your credit reports show? Let's look at the errors. Now let's look at the dispute letter and make sure that we identified those errors. It doesn't do us any good to say, here, all these errors over here, and then the dispute letter doesn't identify them, doesn't explain them. Well, so we want to see the actual dispute letter with all the attachments. If you did it online, well then what did you say in your dispute online? What attachments did you put in? But normally it's going to be a letter, and you'll have those attachments or enclosures, whatever you want to call them. And so we want to see that. So the before, what led to the dispute, and then the actual dispute. And so, and obviously there's things like, how can we prove that the credit bureau received it? But the third thing is, now let's look at the results from the credit bureaus. So you identified errors in your credit reports. You sent a dispute letter, maybe had some attachments with it. Now the credit bureaus have responded. How did they respond? Did they say, we're deleting it, we're keeping it, we're modifying it? What did they say? Or did they give you no response, which we're seeing more of that? Now, obviously, you have to be able to prove that the credit bureau received your response in order to sue them. And we talk about this in other videos, not the point of this video. It has to be actual errors that you've identified. That's the way that the judges are ruling on these. Even if they do a lousy investigation, you still have to have an underlying error, underlying inaccuracy, incompleteness, something that's wrong to trigger the dispute. So we get the credit reports and then the dispute letter, now the results. And now if they fixed everything or if they deleted everything, then presumably you wouldn't be contacting us. I mean, occasionally we'll have people do that. We're like, well, they fixed everything, But normally, very few people get everything fixed. Most people get nothing fixed or very little fixed. And so now what's the last step? Because we've got the credit reports, the dispute letter, the results. Well, one more thing, and that is we want to see the after, okay? And talk about your real credit report. So again, think credit reports, dispute letter, results. Now let's pull those real credit reports from annualcreditreport.com. Let's say you sent a dispute February 1st and results were sent out March the 1st. You got on March the 8th or sometime around there. Well, let's pull a credit report. I'm recording this video on March 27th. Let's pull a credit report now. Let's see what it says. Did the items get fixed? Did they not get fixed? There might have been a results of investigation that says we're not deleting them, and then they delete them the next week. Now you can still sue, but you need to know that before you sue. But normally, if they keep them in those results of investigation, then when we look at the actual reports pulled after that, it doesn't get any better. Okay. And that just makes it worse and worse and worse for these credit bureaus or furnishers, whether we're talking about Capital One, Discover Bank, Midland, Portfolio, Bank of America, whoever it might be. When they have a chance to fix it and they don't fix it, and then they continue to update your reports and show this negative information, that makes them in a very vulnerable position and gives us an opportunity to sue them and to have a lot of leverage over them to get the credit report fixed or the account deleted and to pay the maximum amount of money damages that you would be entitled to for your particular case. So, as I said, there may be other law firms that do this that do not require these 4 items. It's just what we do because we've been doing this a long time and we know what we need. So let's look at it. What triggered the dispute, then the actual dispute, then the results of investigation from that dispute, and then let's just take a peek at the credit reports and see what do they show now. So when we do the lawsuit, if you hire us, we agree to accept your case. And this would be true, I think, for any lawyer that does this type of work that is experienced with it. You want to be able to put in the lawsuit, hey, here's how we tried to fix it. It didn't get fixed. It still is not fixed. I'm having to bring this lawsuit to try to fix it. And then that puts these guys in an interesting position because they got your dispute. They didn't fix it. They've been updating it. And now they get sued. Do they fix it now? Well, they're kind of worried about, well, is that sort of an admission of guilt? Like if we're, it was on the credit report, there's a dispute letter, they don't fix it, you pull your credit reports, it's still not fixed, and then you sue them, and now they delete it? Well, shouldn't they have deleted it back here? It's a pretty good argument. But if they don't delete it, then we get to stand in front of a jury and say, not only did we dispute it, they didn't fix it, we sued them. They still haven't fixed it. And so you can imagine what that does to verdicts. So hope that you found this helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. And if you want to reach out to us, you can go to alabamaconsumer.com and you'll find a contact button there, alabamaconsumer.com. Okay, guys, thanks for watching us, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.